All right, to get your ID on you real quick.
No, I don't.
You're not shutting the door. You're not free to leave.
Yeah, I am.
You might remember that video. The Spokane County Sheriff's deputy behind the body camera is accused of beating that man to a point where he had to be hospitalized for several days. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10. This comes less than 2 months after the Spokane Police Department recommended the prosecutor's office charge the deputy with assault. Now we have the investigation behind that recommendation. Our Nicole Hernandez went through the documents tonight and a warning the details might be disturbing. Nicole?
So Mark, Spokane police gave the prosecutor's office more than 1,000 pages of their investigation. It's an investigation into what happened here in August last year. The man in this video, Kevin Hinton, is planning on suing the county for excessive force. Clay Hilton is the Spokane County deputy you can hear in the background of this video.
All right, to get your ID on you real quick.
This is his body camera footage we're seeing here. One of the first things in the report, investigators tried to get the ring camera footage from Hilton's house because he lives on the same street as the park where he hit and arrested the 62-year-old man. The report says other sergeants know Hilton does, quote, prowl checks to keep his neighborhood safe. Hilton told his co-workers he had seen a knife in the car, which you can see here in the report, and the man had tried to drive away. Also in the report, messages between Hilton and some of his co-workers from after the arrest. He says, quote, I think he may have learned a lesson, and, quote, wait for his booking photo. There's also a recap of an FBI interview with the 62-year-old man. He says he was in cuffs for 3 to 4 hours and they were, quote, horrifyingly painful, calling it torture. He also says he had 5 broken ribs, needed 6 stitches in his lip, and now has lingering headaches and memory problems. The medic who checked him out at the park had cleared him for transport to the jail, but once he got there, the jail refused to book him for his injuries. Another chunk of the report is emails from the Spokane County District Courthouse. They say the charges Hilton cited could not be entered into the system. Now, an outside expert looked over all of this and came to this conclusion. He mistakenly believed he could make an arrest, but the municipal code only allowed for a civil infraction, so any force used would be excessive. So the Yakima County prosecutor is now ultimately who will decide whether or not Spokane County should charge Hilton with assault. They told us in a statement today, quote, we are in an active process of reviewing the extensive discovery provided to our office. They also said they should know more in the next several weeks. In studio, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
All right, Nicole, thank you very much. And now to our night beat with a quick look at today's top stories. The woman suspected of shooting at a man, stealing his car and leading police on a chase on Friday faced a judge this afternoon. According to court documents, the victim picked up the suspect, 20-year-old Deja Walter, at a parking lot and offered her a ride. As the driver was taking her to a friend's house, court documents show she pulled out a gun and pointed it at him. It went off when he tried to wrestle it out of her hands. Court documents show he was knocked out of the car but hung onto the door while Walter drove away. Spokane police later identified the stolen car and arrested Walter on robbery and assault charges. She is now being held on a $100,000 bond. Tonight, 5 Gonzaga University athletes are displaced from their home near campus in the Logan neighborhood after that house caught fire. The Spokane Fire Department says it took a while to get a handle on this fire. Crews had to cut into the roof and the backside of the home to put it out. Neighbors who live directly behind the home say they couldn't help but worry.
It was really stressful to see those flames and just thinking of the worst case scenario that's already happening to them, but what if it jumps to our house? What if?
Since the fire department says the damage is too significant for the students living in the house to return, they say they'll be staying with friends for now. Firefighters say the cause of the fire was an accidental electrical failure, and damages are estimated to be at more than $100,000. Just hours ago, fire crews pulled one person from a car that drove into the State Line liquor store in Post Falls. The SUV's front half was completely inside the front of the store. It also knocked down part of the outside wall. The driver's condition is not known at this hour. And that was your night beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just head to our website. That's KREM.com. All right, switching gears to talk weather. After a beautiful weekend, we are not saying goodbye to the sunshine just yet. Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo. But Jeremy, it is noticeably cooler today compared to the weekend.
Yeah, and when we head through the next few, it gets even colder. Let's talk it. 49 degrees right now, but notice the wind west-southwest at 18 miles per hour. Those stronger winds are expected to eventually start to ebb overnight. We're going to watch our gusts drop to about 18 and stay there through the morning before they eventually calm down throughout the day. That's all behind the passage of a cold front that moved through a bit earlier, but in its wake, we have cold air down low and cold air in the atmosphere overhead. That combination is going to fuel some kind of scattered pop-up showers as we move through tomorrow afternoon. Where they go, it's all going to be about where they start, but it's going to be one of those days with a mix of clouds and sun and a few light raindrops coming out of the clouds. Wednesday looks like we could get a potential for a little bit of activity during the day as well. So we're going to throw isolated showers and sprinkles on each of those days, but look at the temps. 52 Tuesday, 54 Wednesday. It's much, much colder in the days to come.
All right, sounds good, Jeremy. We'll check back in with you later in the show. Well, Spokane is working on at least 10 construction projects right now, and that's just within city limits. Tonight, KREM 2's Cody Proctor has a breakdown of every project that could impact you.
Spring has sprung, and so have these road closed signs across Spokane, all part of construction season. Right now, the Spokane area is seeing several construction projects, with at least 10 currently happening within city limits alone, according to officials.
Throughout the season, it'll probably end up being between 30 and 40 projects throughout the entire season.
One big reason behind so many projects is Mother Nature.
We only get about 9 months out of the year to get that work done because of the weather impacts that we have with winter.
The city's not the only one with road work happening. Spokane County, Spokane Valley, and the state also have projects going on now, including Monday morning's closure of Euclid Avenue as part of the highly anticipated North Spokane Corridor project. WashDOT crews started rebuilding the road under the newly constructed North Spokane Corridor overpass and at the BNSF crossing. Communications manager Ryan Overton says this particular phase will include grinding out the existing asphalt, putting in permanent approaches, and redoing the road.
We're in a much more populated zone now than we were further up north, so people are seeing the progress. I think they're believing that we're actually going to get to the finish line, and we are. We're funded for completion.
The work on this phase is expected to last into next month. But issues with drivers also caused the city of Spokane to make changes to one of their projects. City officials closed off the 29th to 30th Avenue section of Perry Street due to too many close calls.
It's the inattentiveness and the speed that are the biggest problems.
In Spokane, Cody Proctor, KREM 2 News.
The U.S. Supreme Court is allowing Idaho to enforce its ban on gender-affirming care for transgender kids. The justices announced the decision today. The law states that physicians could get up to 10 years in prison if they provide hormones, puberty blockers, or other gender-affirming care to people under the age of 18. At least 23 states have enacted laws restricting or banning gender-affirming medical care for transgender minors. The highway leading into SeaTac Airport back open tonight after a group of protesters blocked it for several hours today. It all started just before 3 this afternoon. The protesters called for the United States to stop spending money and weapons to Israel. Many of them laid on the ground and banned their arms with PVC pipes. Others wore white suits with red paint on them. The people who watched it all happen had a lot to say.
It was great having a conversation with you.
Your right to protest.
Everybody has a way to do things, and if it's
disruptive, you have to respect us being disgruntled over it.
I respect that.
Police started moving people just after 5 tonight. They took several people into custody. That scene playing out across the U.S. today. Traffic also stalled at Chicago's O'Hare Airport and on the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. Again, protesters are calling for a ceasefire in Gaza and for an end to U.S. funding for Israel.